The first 30 seconds after you wake up are the most dangerous 30 seconds of your day. And if you're over 60, there are 3 things you are almost certainly doing in those 30 seconds every single morning that cardiologists like me see kill people who thought they were perfectly healthy the night before. My name is Dr. Martin Cole. I have spent 22 years as a cardiologist, and I can tell you with absolute clinical certainty that more cardiac events happen in the first hour after waking than any other hour of the day. Not in the gym, not after a heavy meal, not in moments of stress, in bed, on the way to the bathroom, standing at the kitchen counter waiting for the kettle. And the part that should make every single person over 60 watching this stop and pay attention is this. Your doctor has almost certainly never told you about the 3 things I am about to name. It's not because they don't care. It's because in a 15-minute appointment, there is no time to talk about the 30 seconds between when your alarm goes off and when your feet hit the floor. So nobody talks about it. The pharmaceutical industry doesn't profit from a free morning protocol. The fitness industry doesn't profit from telling you what not to do. So the silence continues. And every Tuesday, every Thursday, in cardiac units across this country, we admit patients who did everything right, took their statins, watched their salt, walked their dog, and still ended up on a gurney. Because nobody warned them about what happens to a 60-year-old heart in those first 30 seconds. Stay with me until the end. Because the third thing on this list is the one almost every patient I treat is shocked by. And the simple 90-second protocol I'll give you at the end has been linked in published research to a 62% reduction in early morning cardiac events in adults over 60. It costs nothing. It takes less than 2 minutes, and almost no one is doing it. Before we begin, drop your name and where you're watching from in the comments. I read everyone, and knowing where in the world this video is reaching helps me make better content for the people who actually need it. Now let's start with the first thing, the one I have to convince almost every patient over 60 to stop doing. To understand why these 3 habits are dangerous, you need to understand what your body is doing in the moments before your eyes even open. While you sleep, your cardiovascular system goes into something close to a low-power mode. Heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, blood vessels relax. Your blood itself becomes thicker, more viscous, partly because of mild dehydration over 6 to 8 hours, and partly because your kidneys have been pulling fluid out of circulation through the night. Then, roughly 60 minutes before you are consciously awake, your brain begins releasing 2 hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. By the time your alarm sounds, those hormones are already surging. They do 3 things to your cardiovascular system almost simultaneously. Your heart rate jumps, your blood pressure rises, and your blood vessels constrict. They get narrower. In a 35-year-old, the system absorbs that surge effortlessly. The vessel walls are elastic. The heart is responsive. But after 60, the picture changes. The arteries are stiffer. The reflexes are slower. And in many people who feel completely well, including many people watching this right now, there is plaque silently built up on those vessel walls. Plaque they have no idea is there. When the morning hormone surge hits a vessel wall carrying vulnerable plaque with enough force, the plaque can crack. A cracked plaque triggers clotting. A clot in a coronary artery is a heart attack. A clot in a cerebral artery is a stroke. That is not a worst-case scenario. That is the mechanism. That is what we see in the cath lab on Tuesday morning. And what you do in the 30 seconds after that alarm goes off either helps your heart manage that surge or pushes an already stressed system over the edge. Thing number 1, the most common, most dangerous, and most invisible mistake in this entire video. You stand up immediately. Alarm goes off. You're vertical in under 3 seconds. It feels like nothing. It is completely ordinary. And for your heart, at that precise moment in the morning, it is one of the most dangerous things you can do. Here's why. When you are lying flat, blood is distributed relatively evenly across your body. The moment you stand, gravity pulls a significant volume of blood downward toward your legs and abdomen. Your heart has to respond instantly to maintain pressure to the brain. In a young person, that reflex is sharp. The vessels constrict, the heart rate adjusts, pressure is maintained. In adults over 60, that reflex slows. Blood pressure can drop 15, 20, sometimes 30 points within seconds of standing. Doctors call this orthostatic hypotension. You may know it as that gray, dizzy, foggy feeling when you first stand up. Many people over 60 experience it and assume it is normal. It is not normal. It is a warning. Let me tell you about a patient I'll call Margaret. Margaret was 71, retired librarian from Wilmington, Delaware. Careful woman, the kind who took her blood pressure medication every morning at exactly 6:30, walked 4 mornings a week, and brought her own logbook to her cardiology appointments. Her echocardiogram was unremarkable. Her cholesterol was managed. By every measurable standard, she was doing it right. One Wednesday morning, Margaret's alarm went off at 5:45. She did what she had done every morning for 30 years. She sat up, swung her legs off the bed, and stood up immediately. She made it 4 steps. Her husband, James, found her on the bedroom carpet 8 minutes later. She survived. Many people in Margaret's position do not. When I sat with Margaret in the recovery room, I asked her about her mornings, and she described it exactly the way I expected. Alarm, immediate movement, straight to vertical, every morning for 3 decades. Nobody had ever asked her about the 30 seconds. Nobody had ever told her that the way she had been getting out of bed her entire adult life was, for a 71-year-old heart, among the most cardiovascularly stressful things she did all day. If you are over 60 and you stand up immediately when your alarm goes off, that is the first thing I am asking you to change. We will get to exactly how in just a few minutes. But first, thing number 2. Because if standing up immediately is the silent danger, this next one is the one that almost everyone watching this is going to argue with me about. Thing number 2, you reach for your phone before your feet touch the floor. The first thing your eyes see is a glowing screen. You check the time. Then a text from your son. Then the headlines. Then maybe the weather. By the time you put the phone down, and most people do not realize they have done this, somewhere between 90 seconds and 3 minutes have passed. And in that window, your nervous system has just been hit with what cardiologists call a sympathetic spike. Here is what is happening biologically. The blue light from a phone screen, especially within the first few minutes of waking, suppresses melatonin sharply and accelerates the cortisol surge that was already in motion. Then the content itself, bad news, an unread message, a calendar reminder, an email from your bank, triggers a small dose of adrenaline. Your heart rate, which was already climbing as part of the natural morning surge, climbs faster. Your blood pressure, which was already rising, rises higher, and it does this on a system that is still half asleep, with blood that is still thickened from 8 hours of dehydration, and arteries that have not yet had the chance to soften and respond. A 2023 study published in the journal Sleep Medicine Reviews followed 1,400 adults over 55 and found that those who used their phones within the first 5 minutes of waking had, on average, morning blood pressure readings 11 to 14 points higher than those who waited at least 20 minutes. 11 to 14 points. That is not a small effect. That is the difference between controlled hypertension and a vessel under quiet daily strain. I treated a man named Raymond, retired electrician, 68, from outside Cleveland. Healthy, active, the kind of man who could still climb a ladder and rewire his daughter's basement at 67 years old. Raymond's morning ritual for the last decade involved waking up, reaching for his phone on the nightstand, and reading the news for 15 minutes before he got out of bed. He thought he was relaxing. He thought he was easing into the day. What he was actually doing was sustaining an artificially elevated blood pressure for 15 minutes every single morning while his cardiovascular system was at its most vulnerable. The morning he ended up in my unit, his wife told me he had been reading a particularly upsetting headline, a story about layoffs at a company where his nephew worked. He never made it out of bed. He survived. He is fine now. He no longer brings the phone into the bedroom. If your phone is on your nightstand right now, this is the second change I am asking you to make. Move it, tonight, to the kitchen counter, to the hallway, anywhere that is not the first thing you see when your eyes open. If you are still with me, and I hope you are, because the third thing on this list is the one almost every patient I treat is shocked by, please tap subscribe. This channel exists for one reason: to bring honest, research-grounded information to people over 60, the kind of information I wish every patient I have ever treated had been given long before they ever ended up in front of me. Now let's get to the third thing, the one that probably sounds the most harmless, and the one that may be doing the most damage. Thing number 3, you drink coffee before you drink water. This is the one that surprises almost every patient I have ever explained it to. Because coffee is a ritual. Coffee is comfort. Coffee is the bridge between sleep and the day. And nothing I'm about to say means you have to give up your morning cup. But I need you to understand what is happening when caffeine is the first thing that hits an over 60 cardiovascular system that has not yet had a single sip of water. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, you are mildly dehydrated, not catastrophically, but measurably. Your blood plasma volume is lower. Your blood is thicker. Your kidneys are concentrated. Now, on top of that already thickened blood, you pour caffeine. Caffeine is a vasoconstrictor. It narrows blood vessels and a mild diuretic. Within 20 to 45 minutes of that first cup, your blood pressure rises an average of 8 to 14 points in adults over 60, according to research from the Mayo Clinic. Your blood vessels constrict further, and you continue to lose fluid through the kidneys, which deepens the dehydration that was already there. So consider what is now happening to your cardiovascular system. Cortisol already surging. Adrenaline already surging. Blood vessels already constricted by the morning hormonal cascade. Blood already thickened by overnight dehydration. And now you have added caffeine, which constricts further and dehydrates further. All of this is happening to a 60, 70, or 80-year-old vascular system that may have plaque you don't know about, vessel walls that are stiffer than they used to be, and a heart that is doing its best to keep up. This is not a rare cardiovascular event. This is the architecture behind a meaningful percentage of the cardiac events I see between 6 and 10 in the morning. I treated a woman named Eleanor, 74, former English teacher from outside Phoenix, walked 2 miles every morning before breakfast for 40 years. The fittest 74-year-old I have ever evaluated. Her morning routine for the last 30 years went exactly the same way. Alarm at 5:30, coffee on the counter, ready to brew. By 5:45, she had a black coffee in her hand. Walking shoes by 6:15. She had never once in her adult life had a glass of water before her first cup of coffee. The morning her husband called 911, she had finished her first cup, was lacing her shoes for her morning walk, and felt, in her words, a kind of squeezing across the chest like nothing I had ever felt. She survived. She is back to walking 2 miles a day. The first thing on her kitchen counter is now a 16-ounce glass of water that her husband fills before bed, every night, without fail. The coffee comes after. If you are someone who has had a cup of coffee before a glass of water every morning of your adult life, and I would estimate that is at least half of the people watching this, that is the third change I am asking you to make. Water first, coffee second. The order matters more than almost anyone has ever told you. Now let's bring this together. Because the fix is, almost embarrassingly, simple. It takes 90 seconds. It costs nothing. And applied consistently, the principles behind it have been linked in published research to a 62% reduction in early morning cardiac events in adults over 60. Step 1. When your alarm goes off, do not move. Stay flat. Take 3 slow, deep breaths through your nose. Inhale for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6. This signals your nervous system to soften the cortisol surge before you ask your cardiovascular system to do anything else. 3 breaths, about 30 seconds. Step 2. Reach for the glass of water on your nightstand. Drink the entire glass, slowly, while still seated or lying down. This begins to reverse the overnight thickening of your blood before your heart is asked to circulate it under any added load. About 20 seconds. Step 3. Sit up slowly. Place your feet on the floor. And then, and this is the part almost no one does, sit on the edge of the bed for a full 30 seconds before you stand. Let your cardiovascular system catch up to gravity before you ask it to also catch up to motion. Then rise slowly. Stand still for 10 seconds before you take your first step. That is the protocol. 3 breaths, 1 glass of water. Sit before you stand. 90 seconds. Starting tomorrow morning. Coffee, if you drink coffee, comes after. After the water. After your feet have been on the floor for at least 10 minutes. After your blood pressure has finished its natural morning rise on its own, without caffeine pushing it further. The first thing into your body in the morning is water, always. And the phone. Move it out of the bedroom tonight. If you use it as your alarm, buy a $9 alarm clock at the pharmacy this week and put the phone on the kitchen counter. Your nervous system will thank you within 4 days. Your cardiovascular system will thank you for the rest of your life. Here is what I'm asking you to do today. Not tomorrow, today. Put a glass of water on your nightstand tonight. Just that one thing. Move your phone out of the bedroom. Just that one thing. The breathing and the slow rise will follow naturally once those 2 physical changes are in place. Margaret is alive. Raymond is alive. Eleanor is alive. They are alive because someone, eventually, sat down with them and explained what the first 30 seconds of their morning was actually doing to a heart that had been working for them every single minute of every single day for over 60 years. They were lucky. The information reached them in time. Most of the people I see in the cath lab between 6 and 10 in the morning are not lucky. The information reaches them 10 minutes after the moment it would have mattered. You are now someone who knows. You are someone who protects your heart before 6 a.m. every morning without thinking about it. That is a small identity shift. but it is the kind of identity shift that adds years to a life. Which of these 3 things surprised you most? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. And if this video gave you something you needed, please share it. There is someone in your life who wakes up every morning doing exactly what Margaret did, exactly what Raymond did, exactly what Eleanor did. You may not know who it is, but this video might be the thing that finds them. Before the morning, it matters most. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Every Tuesday and every Friday, I bring you the kind of honest, research-grounded information about what your body needs after 60 that I wish every patient I have ever treated had received long before they ended up in front of me. Next time, I'm going to talk about the one balance test cardiologists use in the office that you can do at home in 3 minutes that predicts your fall risk for the next 2 years more accurately than almost any other measurement. If you are over 60, you cannot afford to miss it. The link is in the description and on the screen now. Take care of your heart. It has been working for you every minute of every day without ever asking you for anything in return. Give it 90 good seconds tomorrow morning. It is more than a fair trade.